Meet the Renault Sport Clio 200 Cup, a £15,750 facelifted and tweaked version of the stunning 197. It's got an increase of 3 brake horsepower over the previous car and suspension created by the finest cornering gurus in France. If Renault's history is anything to go by, it should be a riot. And we've delved deep into the history books to find its toughest competitor, this 2005 Renault Sport Clio 182 Cup. One of the best hot hatches of the 21st century. It's agile, focused and pure. A perfectly poised example of how scintillating a quick Clio can be. So, it's Nicole versus Papa. First up, the wise old hand.
Now, it might be 5 years old, but the mechanics and physics of how a car grips and corners hasn't aged at all. This has got 182 horsepower at 6,500 revs. It feels very light. I mean, it's only just over a ton. You know, very flighty, steering's reactive. The engine doesn't really work too well if it's below 5,000 revs, so you've got to give it some stick. Right, enough chat. Time for a quick one.
Start the clock.
It's got good turning grip. In fact, you know, you can promote a little bit of oversteer. Sounds awful, but predominantly it's an understeery balance. There's a fair bit of kickback through the wheel. I mean, that's good in one sense, that you feel what's going on. It's quite hard. You can feel the suspension kicking back through. But it, you know, it corners, it grips, but it's great fun to drive.
And the 182 Cup crosses the line in 45.27. Papa was quick, but is Nicole even quicker?
Now, this immediately feels tighter and firmer than the 182, and you can feel the extra 130 kilos you're carrying around. But the engine is a screamer, 200 horsepower at 70,100 revs. But believe it or not, it's actually 4 brake horsepower per tonne less than the 182. So I think it's going to be a bit close. Time for me and Nicole to do a quick one.
Start the clock.
It's really pointy on turning. It feels alive. I mean, it's brilliant fun to drive.
At the first checkpoint, Nicole is down on Papa by just 0.06 of a second.
Come on, you fighter. One thing that is noticeable on this one is the brakes are so sharp. When you first touch it, they got really good initial bite. Little dab on the left foot.
At the second point, the new car has pulled ahead by 0.4 seconds.
Very chuckable. Car you can grab by the scruff of the neck. Really gets stuck in.
And at the finish, the 200 crosses the line in 44.12 seconds. It may be heavier, but 5 years of chassis development and those enormous brakes, and victory to the youthful Nicole.